welcome to another unboxing. This one, the scalpel is ready and more appropriate than most. This is Lobotomy 2 Manhunt. I've already taken the cellophane off this, but I have not opened the box. Just to get a good shot, you know, light reflections coming in. The lovely semi-matte finish on the box. It's a very deep box. I'm not even going to try and lift it up. I'm actually sat a little high. The table is a little high for unboxing large boxes. So let's just dig in. There's a lot to go through here. There's this box, big expansion box from the Kickstarter here. And there are a number of additional boxes. Now, I was not an owner of the first Lobotomy, but very envious whenever I saw someone playing it. So this was a bit of a no-brainer purchase when the Kickstarter appeared. Lobotomy 2 Manhunt, the Daily Nightmare. Ooh, exciting. All right, manual, nice design. Oh, it looks like there's a lot of words, folks. There we go. How many pages? Blank pages at the end. Okay, well, that's not a bad thing. 25 pages. Okay, we can cope with that. Chapters. Entire campaign. Isn't that good? Suddenly looks like an entire campaign. Daily Nightmare Games setup. Daily Nightmare Games follow the setup of campaign games. Way to experience Lobotomy 2 Manhunt with a series of smaller scenarios called Nightmares, designed to let the players experience a more randomized, free-form battle against evil without the strict format of a full campaign scenario. Oh, so these are not campaigns, these are individuals. We have the option of playing as a campaign or individual scenarios. I was a little fearful that this might be a little too similar to Zombicide in the way that the tiles work, but we'll see. You know, I wonder if there is enough room in my collection for both of these, but it has a different visual feel at least, and that excites me rather. I do like the design of the manual. A little bit of grunge here and there, but not over the top. Doesn't get in the way of legibility. Outline artworks for some comparison, contrast against the more finished artwork. I like that. These are all the scenarios. There's really no point in me going through these. They're different scenarios, right? All right, different scenarios. Rulebook. Oh, this is a little heftier. In fact, what do they call it? Saddle stitched, right? So the rulebook comes to 39 pages. Cry a little bit. Detailed character actions. Maybe there's a lot of different character actions. Reading the cards. I wonder if this might be a bit verbose, which is why, although, you know, if you look at the cards here, there's a lot going on here. With different characters, different states of different characters, I guess, you know. Not insane and insane. Well, that is a different state, to say the least. So that could be interesting. Well, I mean, I guess, and being optimistic here, I guess that lots of detail in the characters means lots of variation, and which improves replayability. Right, so if you can hear some background noise, I do apologize. The road outside my house is currently pretty busy because everybody's Christmas shopping. Okay, scenario book, even thicker. Whoa, this is, I mean, the feel of this, the stock they've used for printing, really impressive, really lovely. Reference cards. Oh, there's a lot of scenarios in here. This is going to be fun. Lots of different things happening. Very exciting. And just, yes, generally, production quality is absolutely superb. Let's see how many. I'm just feeling down the side here. See how many tokens we've got. We have a lot of punchboards. There they are. Lots of little tokens. Oh, miniatures. No, we're going to get to those. You're going to have to wait. No, the miniatures in this game was one of the reasons I wanted to back it. So that, as I do this unboxing, I will start to cry at the number of miniatures that have just been added to my already massive backlog of unpainted miniatures. Yes, it's awful. Anyway, fire, madness, maybe, ideas, snow, numbers. Obviously, maybe that could be for different objectives on the board, so you know where you're going. Health, some kind of timer. Oh, even more brains running. Explosions, or could that be some kind of virus? Lots of tokens. All right. Be interesting to see what we have. These are doors, I believe, and walls, so that we can set up the board differently depending on whether there's a door there or whether there's a board. I wonder if it's got an open door on the other side. Yes, it does. So it kind of works. If you've played the Resident Evil games, I've only played Resident Evil 3, a game I absolutely love. And they have door tokens, the same thing, where one side the door is shut and one side is open. So here, see, the wall has been broken down. And on the other side, the wall is, I mean, it indicates that the wall is weak there at least. Seems to be some kind of crate. Filing cabinet, maybe a filing drawer. Different kind of terrains, walls. You see, I normally see that kind of token with a portal, so I wonder what on earth a portal would be doing in an insane asylum. Oh, these tiles are quite large. These are the room tiles, double-sided, of course. Lots of blood splatter, marvelous, and fire there as well. It doesn't look like things are very much under control. There's some stuff on the board here. Okay, I'm intrigued as to know what those are. Which worries me a little bit when we see that, because it kind of sets up, you know, whenever this tile is set up, it's set up in the same way if these things are sort of printed on. But it works with Zombicide 2nd edition in that there is a lot more printed on the tiles than they were in the 1st edition. So some areas are walled off, some areas are more open. That's a nice variation. You like that? Yes, that's great. I've had a few nights after a curry like that. So, light and dark. I wonder if light and dark is going to be a feature of the game, in that you're able to do different things. See, line of sight might change. You're able to do different actions at different times. Some great variation on the artwork. I absolutely love it. It isn't too Zombicide. I mean, I'm not comparing Lobotomy with Zombicide. It's just there are aspects of it that feel the same or feel similar, echoes of it. And of course, we'll have to see when we actually play the game and find out. Also, this one's entirely open. We'll have to see how that plays out. Ooh, what is that? Some kind of circular building. Lovely. Okay. Interesting to see what that is, how that comes out of the theme. And we have one last board. Also variation in colour as well. Lovely. All right. First batch of miniatures. Without showing you the others. I'm not going to go through all of these, but have a look. These are very nice. Just the right level of detail, I think, for me at least. Let's just try and get this in shot. Go. Really quite intriguing, isn't it? Let's put my other hand up. There you go. It's the camera's being too clever for its own good. Wonder what's that's coming out of her head. Maybe some kind of growth. Some zombie growth. Wow, some very interesting characters and personalities. Now, if I can go... Oh, look at that. Well, that's... Yeah. Definitely some kind of growth going on. Obviously, these are the player characters, and these are the opponents. Bit of variation there. Interesting personalities. Again, I'm glad to say, has a different feel in the player characters to zombie side. You see, there's a little more playful. I mean, if we look at this one, yeah, a little more playful, a little more cartoony, a little more stylized. And also, you know, when I think of madness or characters that go mad, my first thought goes to Cthulhu Death May Die, where, of course, going mad and losing your sanity is a vital part of the game and how the characters develop. I'm not going to take each of these out, but some of these guys, dogs, some dude that reminds me a little bit of Nemesis from Resident Evil. Of course, that won't mean anything to you if you don't know Resident Evil, but this guy here with his kind of tentacle arms going on. And painting them, it worries me a little bit because all of these have got kind of, what do they call them? Scrubs and medical gowns. So I wonder how much variation there can be in those. I guess it depends on how many are going to be actually on the board at any one time near each other. A couple of small cloth bags. Those are very small cloth bags. I wonder how that works. Yeah. The obligatory Ziploc bags. Now, good on them for including those, though. I know a lot of companies still don't do that. I'm going to turn this way up for what I think are the boss boss models in. Reminds me a little bit of BioShock. This guy in particular, it's going to be huge fun. A lot of character and personality there, and really sizable. I mean, you can see, you know, in the size of my hand, just how big he is. And it's quite refreshing painting larger models now and again because, you know, it gets very focused painting these tiny little 28mm models. It's just refreshing to be able to have these kind of centerpiece models. And of course, these guys, these bosses, you want to make the extra effort with. You know, some of these it's general enemies. Oh, okay, you can cut a few corners, but the bosses you're going to want to make an extra effort with. So it's lovely to have those large. Where I'm sitting, the way I'm sitting relative to this, I actually can't see this bit here. So I'm kind of reaching over. Hopefully you won't see the back of my head in the camera. Let's see if we can get this one open. This is obviously, oh, this is, so there's boss cards, character cards. Well, I wonder who that is. Right? I wonder who that is. I'll let you make your own mind up. The other side, yeah, so insane on the other side. So I'm guessing that flips over. My concern about playing solo on this is that maybe you'll have to play more than one character. And there's a lot of things to think about here. And very different. You know, if we look at those two, you'll see there's a lot of difference. There's a lot more going on over there, or appears to be a lot more going on over there. I think you can probably guess who that is as well, which is great fun. A bit more tongue-in-cheek, I love it. So these are the bad guys. Do they have it? No, they don't. They only have a one side. Okay, that's something. Buddy, he's a boss monster. Spot A. Miniature, there isn't a miniature. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe it's underneath. No, can't be another layer, surely. Maybe it's in the expansion. Let's see. All right, character cards.
I'm guessing these are equipment cards, right? Oh, equipment, weapons, lots of weapons, and basic weapons. I guess you start with basic weapons like broken glass, spell scroll. Okay, interesting. Amazon spear, body piece. Is that a basic weapon? No, it's not. This is getting bigger. Different abilities and all the weapons, guns, spiked gloves, slashing paddle, sword of light. Oh, marvelous. And these are basic equipment. Straight jacket. I'm not entirely sure how that helps you, having angelic wings. Black Knight armor, coin. Okay, some interesting stuff. The holy hand grenade. I'm gonna let you make up your own reference remarks on that. It might show your age. It certainly shows my age, knowing what the holy hand grenade is. Lots more cards. Oh my, we have a lot of cards here. I'm looking at these in case there's something that says "Do not open." You know, in case there's kind of there's a campaign mode, then maybe there are things to be revealed as you work through the campaign, but it doesn't look like it. These are disorder, OCDs. OCD, schizophrenia, kinds of cards. Hitting yourself, withdrawal, is daily nightmare scenarios. Okay, so that relates to the daily nightmares. So different illnesses, some more OCDs here. I'm intrigued to see how those interact and whether they are, whether you select one or more of the variants. We have more equipment, keys to hell, scales of the apocalypse, sentry gun. Marvelous. Disorder, aggression, and anxiety, neurosis. Separation anxiety, social anxiety. You may leave spaces with a single monster as if you had. I guess that is. You not be seen, you be hidden. Those panic, stress relief, adrenaline rush, compulsive collector. So, I'm really intrigued as to how you acquire those or how they interact. Famous silica gel. It's quite a small one for a big pack, right? We're almost through this box, and then we can get on to Inferno and the little boxes. Story events. Okay. I'm not even going to look at those. Well, very briefly. Oh, okay, so there's stuff happening. No spoilers. Story events. Those are going to go straight back in. Wendigo boss cards. So, I'm thinking there is boss behavior cards. Yes, moves towards nearest character and if possible attacks. Attacks twice if possible. So, boss behavior cards. So, this is randomization or semi-randomization with the way the bosses work. And some other event type cards. One last pack. Elite monster. Okay, so we have boss monsters and we have elite monsters. Well, that is all about. Oh, zombie soldier. Okay, so there are different levels of monsters. What is it? This is a memory. Cultist, Daddy's Boy, Hellhound. So these are Hellhounds. Genie, Orderly. Orderly's the one with the tentacles. Dream Zombie, yes. State Trooper. Lovely. They're not quite bosses, but they do have their own cards and abilities. Also have more story events. I'm going to put those in a pile. There you go, bye-bye. Memories. I guess they might affect how things go. I was about to say, oh no, actually maybe these are just some kind of narrative and flavor text, but no, there are actually some effects on your character. Spawn. Now these match the symbols that were pre-printed on the tiles. I'm guessing that will tell you where these are going to spawn. Everybody's covered in spawns. Oh, events in the spawn as well. There's the various characters. Right. Nice chunk of randomization. So I will begin to put these back in to make some space for the almost equally large Inferno box. You can go in there. You can go. You're a little tall, but let's just put that across. We'll worry about organisation later and how this goes together. Interesting colour on the plastic for the minis. It's a kind of a greeny grey. Usually you get something a bit more grey. Neutral grey. And these are kind of browny. But here we are again, just as a reminder, these are the symbols, so these are the spawning points for particular enemies. I didn't put that on, did I? Well, that's not going to fit. There we go. Let's just move this off to one side. Off we go. And we have the Inferno box. Not quite as heavy. This was the expansion released at the same time. Doing the Kickstarter. I'm always a bit... why not just make a bigger game rather than call an expansion when you're releasing expansions at the same time? But, whatever. I don't know whether any of this was exclusive to Kickstarter. I'm not sure. Okay, so we have some additional rules. 19 pages here. 18 pages realistically. That's just got some credits on it. The Inferno campaign. So it's an entirely separate campaign. Kind of looks like it's getting into fantasy world a little bit there, right? Fantasy areas. It's a fire, so maybe some additional tiles. Yeah, it looks very fantasy. I'm good with that. Variation is absolutely fantastic in these games. Particularly when we spend this much money. It's sometimes hard to realise the value of a game like this based on how often you might play it. And, you know, those of us who have fairly large collections, compared to some, I don't have a huge collection, but I have a substantial collection. And also, I have to work and do all of the other things we have to do. We don't have time to play everything. So, it's an interesting exercise in assessing the cost and value of a game like this, where I am never going to play it enough to completely play it out. Right, more tokens. Bottles, fires, occult symbols. Nice. Spawn points, so some variability in spawn points, maybe. Lots of fire, lots of strange angles on these rooms. Doors are already on there. Okay, this is intriguing me. Obviously not going to play this particular campaign until I've played a bunch of the others, but this is teeth coming up. So yeah, it's getting a bit more hellish and more fantasy feel a little bit. Great for variability. I mean, there's nothing really worse with an expansion that is purely just adding more of the same. It's like a sequel to a movie, which is just basically this, just like the original, just giving you a bunch more. Is the right way up. So we have some more dudes. Dudes in grey-green plastic. Quite a few of them. I'm going to only hope that they're easy to get rid of once they spawn, because there's quite a lot there. We will see. Now, it is, as of today, what is it? 20... it is the 20th. Look, I've got to turn this round again. Honestly, they make you work for a living around here. It is the 20th of December. Christmas is coming. That means I have time off, which is a rare thing for me. Time off of work, and some lovely big game days. One at the end of this week and one next week, where we'll just play games all day, like midday onwards. Have a nice long game day, and friends come and go as they please, play as long as they want, play as many games as they want, and it gives us the opportunity to play some of the longer games. You know, things like stuff that's more in depth, or something like Nemesis or Nemesis Lockdown,
which can go on a bit. Right, Anti-Pope. I love the figure for Anti-Pope. Where's the figure for Anti-Pope? Here he is. Oh, he's a little spindly than I was expecting to be. He is. That's going to be fun to paint. Now, if you're not into painting models, then I do apologise for mentioning how much fun something is going to be to paint, but frankly, it is. Excellent. And it's I was talking a little bit about appreciating the value, quantifying the value of a game like this, and having the added enjoyment and satisfaction of painting the models is part of it. Now, I've almost entirely painted, I painted the original Hellboy games and expansions. And I have to say that playing with the painted models, the other ones I painted with quite extensively are Journeys in Middle-earth. And it is hugely satisfying to paint with to play with painted models. Hugely satisfying. It's enjoyable on a number of levels. There's the satisfaction of having other people enjoy the effort that you've taken and appreciate the effort that you've taken. It's more immersive than having just these grey lumps of plastic around. And you know, you also get satisfied for yourself. You see the results of your labors. But again, you know, it's time. These things take time. Battle sensor, bishop's staff, lots of goodies. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. This has really stoked my excitement looking through this. You know, sometimes you get a Kickstarter, and this one is, I don't believe this is actually late. I think this is, if it is late compared to original schedule, then it's not significantly late. There were a lot of stuff struggled through COVID and the shipping crisis you've probably heard of. These guys timed it just right, I guess. Now, it's nice to have something on time. This is the larger of the last 5 little expansions. This is hell level, so we have others. I didn't put these back down. Yeah, we also have character packs, different wards, different characters. We'll have a quick nose through those. They really are just figures and cards to play those figures. So this one is obviously an enemy rather than a playable character, right? I'm going to guess. Let's see what we have. Oh, marvellous. It's got his own little booklet. Silicon! There we go. Wow. Take him out because he is rather excellent. Lovely in depth in there. That's gonna, yeah. You know, these models smack of a painting style that's a little more stylized. You know, everything about this game is a little stylized. You know, you'll see the color schemes here are quite stylized. So I might go for a stylized painting technique, something that uses different colored shadows and highlights, you know, purples and blues and reds, and something a little more interesting than just flat colors everywhere. And the slightly monochrome feel of these, you know, isn't a bad thing at all. There he is, Chain Master. Right, that is the hell level. We'll discover what that's all about. What are we going to go for first? Legacy Ward. So Legacy Ward, I think, relates to number 1, maybe the original game. I mean, it says Legacy, so not entirely sure. Now, you could actually get a whole bunch of stuff added onto this that brought Lobotomy 1 up to date, or allowed Lobotomy 1 to be played, characters and enemies to be played in this game. But I don't have Lobotomy 1. It was very difficult to find, and and it was very expensive because it was very difficult to find. Right, lovely miniatures there. Just the right level of detail for my taste, painting wise. What else do we have? I'm not sure about storage of all of this, particularly these extra models. I think I'm going to get a jingle for the silicon. Whenever the silicon comes out, I can play a jingle. Yo, I think these are Batman inspired, right? Or yeah, because that must be Harley Quinn on the right there. The middle is the Penguin and the Joker, maybe. Yeah. You know, again, that just demonstrates. I'm going to do that one last because of reasons. There's one particular model in that one that I want to actually, all of them, frankly, not just one. Yeah, this is the tongue-in-cheek element, the characters. That's really cool. You know, some of these games need to be just pure fun. It's nice having games that are a little more serious sometimes. Oh, look at a lot of models in here. There's 6 whole models in this pack. Fantastic. So there's... Look at that. Obviously a Harry Potter influence down the bottom there. Some of the others I'm not entirely sure who they are. But we'll see. Oh, obviously that's... Who's the pirate dude? You know, the Johnny Depp pirate dude. That is... He got that attached to his arm? I'm not entirely sure. I think he's holding onto it. Bruce Campbell, right? Bruce Campbell. Right. Last one. Jazza Ward. Why is it called Jazza Ward? Don't know. 4 characters in this one, and I think they are all artists. Because I think it's fab. I'm really interested to see what their abilities are, whether they are, you know, heavily thematic to the personalities. Diego Sal. I'm going to open the packs on these cards so we can have a closer look. So Diego Salvador, obviously that's meant to be Dali. I mean, anybody with a moustache like that is Dali. That's going to be Van Gogh, maybe, because he's kind of mad. Yeah. Not sure who that is. Oh, Leonardo. Oh, the clue's in the name, right? And Bob Ross with the hair. That is fantastic. Whoop. So, the joy of painting. Happy little accidents beat the devil out of it. Okay. Massive props for that, guys. Absolutely brilliant. And quick look at the miniatures. Kind of get the idea, but most excellent. There we have it. Lobotomy 2 Manhunt just arrived. There's your unboxing. That's everything that I have. I don't believe it's 100% of what was available in the Kickstarter. But there's a huge amount of play here. I will certainly film at least one playthrough, possibly the standalone ones, rather than do any spoilers on campaigns. So thank you for watching all the way through this. If you liked it, go on, give it a like. If you like the kind of stuff I do on this channel, then subscribe, get us some notifications so you know when the next thing comes out. And again, thank you so much, and I'll see you again real soon.